Hello there, avid listeners. Thanks again for tuning into Sin's workshop. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to be talking about She is a Haunting. There's a lot for me to unpack about this book, to be perfectly honest with you. It deals with a lot, but in a way that it doesn't make the story feel too heavy. It follows Jade, and she wants to go to college, right? Her financial aid only covers so much, so she makes a deal with her father. She will visit him, her estranged father, who pretty much abandoned them when they were children. She makes a deal with him, and he says, if you come to spend the summer with me in Vietnam and help me finish renovating this house, I will pay for the rest of your school. So she says fine, she'll do it. She's the oldest child, so she's the one who has the clearest memories of her father. Everyone else kind of has these rose-colored glasses on. They're like, oh yay, Dad, and especially because she goes with her sister Lily. Her sister Lily, who is vegan, by the way. And her father just completely dismisses her sister's veganism. She's like, if she's hungry, she'll eat. And every time Jade just tries to stand up for her, Lily's like, it's fine. It's like, no, it's not fine. It's not fine. But that just gives you an idea of who this man is. He's very much into his old belief system. He doesn't want to improve. He doesn't want to, I guess, be open-minded is the best phrasing for it. So that's really a struggle for Jade herself, because she is bisexual, but she does prefer women, So when she was a child as well, her father went through her diary and discovered, oh yeah, she likes girls, and he hit her because of it, telling her it was inappropriate. So she has this kind of trauma with him. There's a lot of baggage between the two of them, and it really does reflect the story and impact the story quite a lot, actually, if you think about it. And it's just really engaging, because she goes to Vietnam and she's visiting this old French colonial house that was built by, French colonizers when they were during their occupation of Vietnam. And to make matters even stranger, her grandmother was a servant in this house. Now, the woman of the house was, one of the ghosts. The French one. She was incredibly racist. She would call the Vietnamese savages. And she is haunting the house, but she's not the only one who's haunting the house. You also have the Vietnamese bride. Now, she works as sort of a warning for Jade. She keeps warning Jade, don't eat the food. She's in her way trying to protect the family, Jade, and them from the madame of the house. And when you learn more about her story, you really see that resonance within Jade. So Jade has always had to struggle, not just with her sexuality, but with her heritage as well. She's too Vietnamese to be American, too American to be Vietnamese. So she's kind of stuck in this place in the middle, in limbo. She doesn't feel completely at home in America because she's not American enough. She's not white enough. And then she feels this alienation when she goes to visit her parents' native land. She doesn't really know the language very well. She can understand it, but when it comes to speaking it, she struggles a lot. Personally, I connected to that a lot. I'm Mexican. I've never really been to Mexico. And I can understand Spanish very well. But when it comes to speaking it, I really do struggle. I just, my mom didn't really practice it with me when I was growing up. And, unfortunately, other than watching telenovelas. So I completely understand where Jade is coming from. So that was very relatable to me. And I think that's going to be really relatable to any other readers out there who kind of struggle with embracing their culture, their background. Because it is such a struggle for Jade. She doesn't really feel like she fits in. She feels like an outsider in her native land. And it's really sad because with the Vietnamese bride, she married the French colonel in a way to protect her village and her family from the atrocities that were going on. But the moment she did that, she became an outsider to her village and her family. So she didn't really have a home anymore. And she wasn't fully accepted in the household because she was Vietnamese, and when she married, she was no longer accepted in her village. So she was also stuck in this kind of limbo. The story deals a lot with identity and a lot with colonialization through this haunting lens. And I really do think the author did a really good job. I will say connecting to Jade at times was a bit of a struggle just because her tone and her narrative was a little, I'm trying to find the right word, like angsty, I guess. It was really, really angsty. But as the story evolves, you understand why she's so angsty. The more tidbits come up about her past and what she struggles with, with her sexuality and being accepted by her mother, and you understand very much why she acts the way she is. And at the end of the day, she really does love her father still. She just has a lot of resentment to him, which you totally understand as you read the book. But she wants to just save him. So it really was, honestly, a really good story. I really did enjoy it. It was just, it's a lot to unpack. And I'm trying not to go off on a lot of tangents because I feel like there's so much I can say. This is definitely a book worthy of book club discussions. I definitely understand why Barnes & Noble picked it as its young adult book club pick because it's really insightful. And I really do think it will resonate with a lot of young readers today, especially, we're just like a cultural melting pot at this point. So I really do think that it is relatable to the reader. It is dark. It is a little gruesome at times. It is definitely a horror. But I did appreciate it 100%. So it's going to get 4 out of 5 stars. If you want to go ahead and purchase the book, I will include links in the description below on where to purchase it. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking this podcast, subscribing to it, and sharing it with all your book loving friends. You can also become a supporter on Buy Me Coffee, Ko-fi, Patreon, by making a donation to this podcast, or by purchasing one of my handmade candles on my Etsy store. Links to everything will be in the description. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.